With an increase in flood disasters from extreme rain, storm surges, and cyclones around the world, more and more communities impacted by disaster and humanitarians responding to them are finding themselves on, around, or near water. According to the World Health Organization, there are an estimated 236,000 drowning deaths worldwide every year. And that number may be significantly underestimated given drowning is the third leading cause of accidental injury death worldwide. What if you were in a community riding in a car when flash flooding occurred? Roads were covered in water and debris started to clog the street as the current began to pick up. Or what if you needed to evacuate your home, office, or car? What would you do? Most people that drown never intended to enter the water. Here are some checks you can do before being exposed to water that will help you be prepared and to minimize risk to your personal safety. Things to do to prepare for an imminent flood. Listen to early warning signs and alerts. Be prepared by having an emergency plan. Assemble an emergency kit, including any necessary prescription medications, drinking water and a small first aid kit, in case you need to evacuate. Charge cell phone batteries and any reusable batteries for flashlights. Carry extra batteries or power packs. In the event of a potential flash flood, move immediately to higher ground. During a flood, avoid low spots, such as ditches, basements, or underpasses, as they can become extremely dangerous during a flash flood. Refrain from walking through flooded areas, as it can be challenging to determine water depth and identify potential hazards beneath the surface. Even shallow, moving water can knock you off your feet and cause falls. If you must walk in water, choose areas where the water is not moving whenever possible. Use a stick or pole to check the firmness of the ground in front of you. Avoid contact with electrical equipment if you are wet or standing in water. The landscape of some beaches, rivers, or floodplains can quickly change, changing or damaging access points, even creating new areas for strong rip currents or dangerous fast-flowing water. If close to the sea, beware of large waves. Even from the shore, large breaking waves can sweep you off your feet and drag you out to sea. Keep away from the water's edge. If you are traveling by car, check the weather before travel and be familiar with your surroundings and location. Tell someone where you are going and what time you are expected to arrive. Have a means for calling for help. Do not drive into flooded areas. Remember the mantra, turn around, don't drown. Be aware water levels can rise very quickly. If you are inside your car with rising water around it, open your windows and sunroof, and remove your seatbelt in case you need to get out quickly. If the car is sinking and is no longer safe, consider swimming to safety or moving to higher ground, but only if you can do so safely. Be cautious of areas where floodwaters have retreated, as roads may have weakened and could collapse under the weight of a car. If you accidentally end up in relatively calm water without a flotation device, float to live. If you fall into cold water, be aware of the initial cold shock. The initial effects of cold water will pass in less than a minute, so don't try to swim straight away. Tilt your head back with ears submerged. Keep your mouth and nose out of the water. Relax and try to breathe normally. It's okay if your legs sink, as we all float differently. Gently move your hands to stay afloat. Spread your arms and legs in a star shape to improve your stability. Keep calm, then call for help or swim for safety if you're able to. If you fall into fast-flowing water, Be aware of any underwater hazards and debris floating in the water. Adopt the defensive swimming position to reduce the chance of injury and foot entrapment. Lay on your back with your feet pointing downstream and lift your hips close to the water surface. Use your arms in a large backstroke action to slow yourself down. Look for safe locations to exit the water. If you spot a safe location to exit the fast-flowing water, use aggressive swimming techniques to get to it. Roll onto your front in the water and orientate your head upstream. Use powerful front crawl strokes to move in the water at a faster rate. Angle your body to the flow and aim to swim to the identified point of safety. Exit the water as soon as possible, and when doing so, be aware of slippery surfaces and trip hazards. After a flood, return home only when authorities declare it safe to do so. Listen to news reports to determine the safety of the water supply and the locations of emergency shelters. Avoid floodwaters, as they may be contaminated by oil, gas, or raw sewage. The water may also be electrically charged due to underground or downed power lines. Steer clear of moving water, as the danger decreases only when water levels recede. Stay away from downed power lines and report them to the power company. Do not enter any building surrounded by floodwaters. Remember, if you find yourself in the water and can't swim, float to live. Be prepared and share this information with others so we can reduce the risk of drowning.